What's going on, everyone?
Hey,
Sorry
what's
that
up?
we're a little
Hello.
late. Yeah, uh, I'm sorry we're a little late, but we do appreciate everybody being here this evening with us. Marcus is going to be here momentarily. So right now it's just Chill and I chill. It's been what? I think we streamed last 2 weeks
It's
ago.
been 14 days.
14 days. How have you
It's
been,
been so
people?
long and I'm lost without you. What were we streaming about? Did you see Acolyte?
I
It's
did see
been too
Acolyte.
long and I'm lost without you. Amanda Stenberg was Osha and May. I missed George.
Yeah, I'm the George. I miss George.
I
Um,
wasn't so down. I'm sorry, I'm hijacking the show. That's not even one of the
no,
topics right now.
go ahead.
I'll just say I was like mid so on it. I do hear about what's gonna happen next week, and I never cared about Acolyte when it was announced. I was more so, oh man, I wanted another Dave Filoni. I wanted another because on the screen it was Mandalorian, Rangers of the New Republic, Book of Boba Fett, Skeleton Crew, and I was like, oh, these are all part of the same. So I was for those shows. When I heard about Andor and Acolyte, I was like, whatever. So I can, this show I can pass on it like John Stockton.
Yeah, yeah, I feel you. Yeah, for me, it did what it wasn't bad. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. It wasn't that bad. But like I said, we'll talk about because did Marcus watch? Do we know if Marcus watched it? Did he say he was going to watch it? I can't remember if he said he was going to watch it or not.
He probably would have watched it. I don't know.
Yeah, probably so.
I think that's something he would do. He has a subscription, so he would have watched it, and he'd have his feedback on it. And they do the behind the cape thing, so they kind of have to watch shows like this to be able to cover it. Him and Josh.
Right. That's true. That is true.
There's a moment in there though that went over my head until it was brought into my attention. So you fit the description type stuff when cops say stuff like that. There was a moment in the show where because she had a twin sister, the Jedi said that you fit the description. Did you make that connection of real life
I
connect?
I did not. I didn't. Now I did, but technically
So
I
you
was
think it's a
actually thinking
coincidence, or
about
do
it.
you think that they were going for something there?
Uh, I don't know. There's so much going on with this show as far as like just the outside of what is Star Wars talk, you know. And I want to wait for Margaret. I want to get into the Acolyte conversation. I would like to actually kind of do that first. Um, I don't know how many, I know a lot of my people that are watching don't, I know not everybody watches Star Wars. But you guys that do not really watch Star Wars have heard me say, if you're, online and you are in some of these spaces, Star Wars is not in the best of places. And right now, this show was announced in 2019, quite like Blade, and it has been quite some time before we got it, and then we finally did get it. The first trailer for myself, I'm speaking only, was underwhelming. It didn't move the needle for me. It didn't take anything away for me, but it didn't, push anything forward for me. And then the second trailer, about the same. The behind the scene photos that we were seeing before the trailers got me excited because the Wookiee Jedi and then some of the costume designs I really did like. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm very privy to the High Republic era. I'm not at all. I am a massive Star Wars fan, way more than Marvel, DC, or any of that stuff. But I don't pay attention to the High Republic era. I tried, it wasn't for me, so I just didn't like it.
Mhm.
But I was excited about a lot of that stuff, but then as we've gotten to where we are now, and I guess we'll just go into it since we're talking about it now, but as we've gotten to where we are now, oh, they said I sound distorted. Hold on. I think I know what it is.
Oh, we're waiting on Marcus, but yes, as he fixes that, if the Andor show, I mean the Acolyte show, would have had them survive that little dart that she threw to get the first Jedi in the beginning in Dara, I would have talked about it. I would have said like, man, this Disney doesn't really get it. But because the death blow was that little dart to the Jedi, I kind of have to ask, well then, what's so special about this blade that a lightsaber isn't special? What's going on, Father of the Year or Father of the Kindergartner of the Year?
Right?
Well,
Let's
congratulations,
go.
Kindergartner of the Year.
Let's go.
That's dope.
Hey.
How do you get kindergartner of the year?
He cleaned
Does
up.
that sound any better for those of you out there watching? Does my voice sound any better? How do you get kindergartner of the year? That's pretty dope.
He got student of the year. He got the principal of the award.
Whoa.
Only thing he didn't get was honor roll because he didn't first quarter of the year he wasn't reading in kindergarten. So apparently that was something that 2 of the students were clearing. I didn't know that was a bar. Somebody should have sent that memo home.
You said he couldn't read in the first quarter, but he can read now.
The 2 kids that got honor roll for the year could read in the first quarter of the year. He wasn't reading all the way in the first quarter of the year. He's got there now, though. He finished his first book yesterday. So we are on our way. We're on our way.
So someone's going to be reading the High Republic.
Oh, for sure. For sure. He's going to be in there. He's got some of his own books. He's got a couple of Ninja Turtle books already. And I think a free comic book Batman book, something. But it's still in the plastic. It's still intact. So I got hope.
You gotta not have to force it. You kind of have to make sure that you're out of some boring doctor's office and be like, "What's that? Oh, this is a comic book. You want to read it?" And he'll be like, "Yeah,
yeah. Let me look. For sure." Nah,
we
man.
We were chit chatting about the Acolyte right when we got here, and I'll ask you this: did you notice? So you saw the episode, yeah?
No, I have not seen Acolyte yet.
We're not gonna do that then.
Sorry.
Oh no, it's cool. It's cool. Why didn't you see it?
Don't let me hold you back. I know a lot of people have seen it. They'll be in the chat today. So,
what's keeping you from going over and watching that episode? Like, it's been 2 days.
Yeah, I got back from Houston Monday night.
Right.
So like Tuesday was recovery for me. I wasn't even thinking about the Acolyte. I'm gonna watch him. I'm gonna watch him this week. Let me take a look at it this week. I just haven't been in a hurry to see it. I know there's a lot of excitement. I know that there's a lot of positive talk about it right now. I'll wait to the middle of the season to see where that tenor is. We seem to get that a lot early in seasons from Lucasfilm projects, and then in the meat of it is where things kind of start to break down. So I'll reserve any judgment even after I see the first couple episodes.
Okay. You're muted, Darius. Maybe he doesn't want to talk. There he is.
Not my fault. I don't know. I'm trying to. If my mic sounds weird, I'm sorry.
Just yell, bro. Just yell, scream it. Ah.
But for me, like I said, I did watch the episode. I thought it was. I
tap the mic. It's not on. So go to settings, and yeah, it's picking up the webcam mic and not this, because when you tapped it, we didn't hear any tapping. So you go to settings, and there's going to be camera, audio, virtual background. You go to audio. From there, that's when you can say which mic you want to be used.
I see. That's why.
Yeah,
hey,
there
he is.
Okay.
I was just having the same technical problem.
Maybe that's better.
Trying to pull my laptop mic instead of this one. I was like, "What's going on?" Before I got in here, StreamYard is having a shit today.
Guys, check your Gmails, because StreamYard needs for you to, like, you're still pending, according to me. Things I could wait for after the show to say.
Instead of this one.
Okay, that's much better. It's fixed. Yeah, that's fixed. I can actually.
Check your Gmail, because StreamYard needs for you to, like, if you're still pending. You hear that, yeah?
Yep.
He's got us playing on his phone. Hey, we need every view we can get.
Oh yeah, I always play the stream on the phone.
Groove, yeah, I agree with you. I don't know how a kindergartner is supposed to be reading in the first quarter of kindergarten. I feel like that was a little bit of overworking we was doing in the summer of pre-K. But yeah, no, they were there. So shouts out to them.
No, shouts out to those kindergartens for knowing how to read.
Sure, they worked hard. Worked real hard.
Yeah. But okay, now that my mic definitely sounds better. But for me, like I said, I'm a big fan of Star Wars. Love, everybody knows that. I've said that many times. But this it was kind of boring for me. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I'm still interested into where we're going. kind of, I talked about the plot a lot before the show came out. We talked about the plot leak on my regular show, about the twin thing, and the village getting destroyed and blah, 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 and all that kind of thing. I don't mind the twins at all. I actually like the twins. I think twins in Star Wars always is a cool concept. I love the twins in Knights of the Republic. There are twins, in other parts of lore of Star Wars. So I've always thought the twin aspect in Star Wars is cool. What this the first episode, Soul obviously stands out the most in the first episode and the second episode. I think he, for me, fits within any era of Star Wars. You could put him in the prequel era. Well, that's really the only era. I'm sorry, or the original Star Wars era, because I don't count the sequel era of Star Wars. It's not a part of my timeline. But I feel like he fits in anywhere, and he's just great. I think what's the actor's name? Forget his name from Squid Games. He's great too. I think he learned English to play this role of Soul. And I know everybody was saying, and I not to get on this because Chill, you haven't said anything yet, but I know everybody was saying at one point when the Yord actor was made it wasn't a slip of the tongue when he said Anakin blew up the Death Star, because he said it twice. When he said that so confidently twice,
I saw that presser.
Yeah,
oh, God.
Wild. When he said that so confidently twice, I was like
you had a chance to go back, watch that. And then in a whole nother interview, here you go running it back. Like that's your go-to. That's your go-to right there, huh?
What did he mean? Did he mean that in Phantom Menace, Anakin was riding that thing and he blew up a big space station and he called that the Death Star? Or does he mean Luke Skywalker?
We know it was obviously a very prepped line because he used it twice in the exact same context. So either A, he knows what he's talking about and has it mixed around, or B, it's some feeder that somebody around there who doesn't know shit gave him to say in there to make him sound like he knows something about Star Wars.
But Harrison Ford doesn't know anything either. He's always bothered by these lore questions as well. Actors act.
He knows about his era of Star Wars, though. He can tell you about his story. Now, if you start getting to broader universe stuff about Star Wars, of course Harrison Ford's going to butt out. It would probably do that about anything outside of his direct contributions to Indiana Jones.
And Harrison Ford would never misspeak and say something like that about Anakin with such certainty.
You think he cares that much?
No.
I was saying, no. I don't think he cares that much.
No. But, it wasn't even so much that he, I don't care that this person, irrelevant actor, doesn't know that or Luke blew up the Death Star. That's all fine with me, because he's not, he's just acting. All he's doing is acting in a role in Star Wars. I don't need him to know the deep lores of Star Wars. But I know people were saying like, oh, that really doesn't matter. It doesn't, but it does show you the level of care, because you look at, again, Squid Games, who went to the lengths that he went to take on the role of Soul. He's not out here butchering Star Wars lore questions, but it's kind of like the Jake conversation. That's when you just be like Daphne Keene told him, I would just shut up. But episode 2, good episode. I liked it. I thought it was good. I have nitpicks like everybody else. The whole dagger killing a Jedi, but a lightsaber can't. I have the, nitpicks of, yes, the look. If this is supposed to be 100 years before, why does it not look like it's 100 years before? Why does it look like we're still in the prequel era? I have my nitpicks with the whole idea of Yoda not being seen or anything like that. I understand that this is not, you don't want this to be, the prequel era or anything like that. But I think as fans, having some type of connectivity to shows, that even if it's, I'm not saying give Yoda episode, I'm not saying give him a mission, but maybe like a,
that's not happening.
Oh, of course not. Of course not.
We're not going to get any.
No, of course not.
Staples in the Acolyte. It's not happening.
No.
Listen, it's expensive.
Kennedy's Acolyte.
Yeah, he's cobwebbed. Yoda he's a CGI monster, but Plo Koon is in his mid 200s, and I think Dave Filoni, if he got his hands on this in time, will slip in something like there may be like a Jedi Council thing, a scene like that. Maybe there won't be no Jedi Council. Maybe everyone dies by that time. because this is all supposed to be secretive. The Sith for millennia they never showed up. So I think every Jedi that we see now, Daphne Keen's character, that George character, Soul, will all die.
Right.
I just don't care about seeing a background Yoda walking. Oh God, look, it's the same world.
No, I don't mean like that. I mean like have him like a meaningful scene, like there's Jedi being killed, and he could be like,
Do they
oh well,
need to have something in the Acolyte that speaks to old school Star Wars fans, or are they just going to live on the hey, we're breeding new Star Wars scenes thing?
No, and I'm saying you don't deserve it, Leslie Headland, Kathleen Kennedy. What have you shown me that you're worthy of these characters?
Well, I mean, for the show to be successful, though, do you think the show is going to be successful without any of that?
They weren't advertised, so no. It'll be just as successful as it would have been if Yoda shows up on episode 7 at the cliffhanger.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think Yoda coming in and just even saying a line changes the pin. I think that just if someone posts that video on Instagram on YouTube, that clip gets views. That does not. I don't think that boosts the views of that episode.
Well, it depends on what kind of moment it is, right? If Yoda blasts in like Luke did in season 2 of Mando.
Well, yeah. If it's
break the internet, if it's something meaningful,
for sure.
If it's something meaningful,
for sure. I see them doing anything like that with any of the characters that we know? And no. And that's fine. That's fine because I'm invested in this new. Like I like the new characters. There's not a character I've seen so far that I don't like. I'll be honest with you, and I said this even when I watched The Hate U Give or the Hate or whatever.
She is in that, isn't she?
I do not care for Amanda's acting. I just I don't connect with her as I don't know. I didn't care for.
She was in this A24 film about like some college age students. They was all kind of like interdating each other. It was like a weird murder mystery. She's definitely better in like dramas than she is. I feel like action. Like she gives good emotion. She was Rue. That's Rue from Hunger Games.
From Hunger Games.
Man, I'll shed a tear for little Rue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Shout out to District, was she 9?
I think so.
Anywho, she's very good evoking emotion, and maybe that's what Headland was going for in the cast. This is a very at least what I can get from the advertisement. It's a very how do I want to put it? Very heavy social lean, right? I'm sure there's a lot of undertones.
There's a moment where she fits the description because of the twin sister. You fit the description, and I didn't realize it until someone told me about it. So that's
sure. In there. And I expected that, right? So I think that was the idea in the casting. Now, how is she looking in the combat scenes, right? The let's get to it, the Star Wars stuff. How has that looked so far?
It doesn't look bad. I'm sorry, Chill. I'm going. Go ahead.
I was gonna say good. You go.
Well, it doesn't look bad at all. But there are things, again, it's not her. I don't think it's her. This is the writing and the directing element here. I don't like the whole when she first walked up to because I can't remember her name right now. Yes, from Matrix Trinity. Because when she walked up to her and Carrie Ann Moss, when she walks up to her and she goes, "Strike me with all of your powers," and I was like, "Bro, stop!" I was like, "Don't." I felt
not all of your powers.
I was like, I don't like that. Don't. But then she did it again to another Jedi, and when he was meditating, she was like, "Okay, whatever she said, you're defenseless. Strike me with all of your." And I was like, "Oh, I don't like that." Whose idea was that? But again, that's not Amanda. That's just the directing element. But
that's somebody else's pen. That's
what they want to say. But the action, all the different fighting styles that they've combined, it looks good. I thought the best of it though was her and Soul. That was a very good fight between the two of them.
Oh, the fight. Okay. I'm going to ruin every Soul acting scene. Next episode you watch, and when Marcus sees the first two, when he's interacting with people and having these acting moments, the camera will be on him as they're reciting their lines, and he's just like reacting because English is not his first language. You'll never see them on sharing the same screen as lines are being given. When he walks in a room,
he's not getting it, so he has to wait to translate.
They are, whoever he's interacting with. Amanda is filming her lines at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then they say, "Thanks, Amanda, go ahead," and it takes like 4 hours to get him to do his parts.
No, I like
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good opportunity to once again expand the Star Wars universe. There are so many other languages that are spoken, and so you could either meet him in the middle with some created language, or
That's
you
interesting.
could introduce his language as if it was something completely
That's interesting,
foreign.
and you definitely could.
you know,
You definitely could.
yeah, there's
That's
so many
true.
other languages that are spoken in Star Wars universe, and we are just stuck on old British English.
I was just about to. I was gonna
So-
hope. I was hoping you was gonna throw British in there.
The language
That's
is
the
called
first thing I
basic.
said.
The language is called basic. And if you read a comic book in Canada and America, it's going to be in the English language. If you were in Japan and you find a Star Wars comic, it's going to be in the Japanese language, but they're speaking basic within the lore of Star Wars. That's, you can't do like another real world language without it feeling off, like bringing me into the real world and making it not be escapism entertainment anymore.
Okay, so then create a language, because we know that there's more than just what basic, right?
Yeah.
In
Andor, there was a created language. The Cassian Andor in the flashback was speaking something else.
and that way everybody has to shoot it, so that you're not chopping footage to the point where like any point of dialogue with this character is being spliced together.
It
'Cause
feels
I said,
like that.
That's noticeable. If it's going to pick up
very
quick.
noticeable.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, again, not bad. But now I hear off the episodes, the advertisement. Well, not even the advertisement. Sorry, the press conferences that have been going on. I don't like it. I don't like Leslie Headland's conversation that she just recently had with the interviewer with her and Amanda Steinberg, because that has never been Star Wars. And I am all for inclusion. I am all for everyone feeling represented and everything like that. And in Star Wars, I feel like, I don't know, watching. Obviously, Star Wars is not heavily African Americans are not heavily represented in Star Wars. I think we had Billy D. Williams and just the original, and then you got Samuel Jackson and George Lucas's words in his most recent interview he did. He was on the council. Like, that's some big achievement. But you've got you had Samuel Jackson in that.
First council member to die.
Yeah, and I don't believe there were any others outside of the light-skinned pilot for Padme and some others.
Oh, we don't count any of this stuff. We count lead roles, and this is the first time a lead role has happened in Star Wars where they're not face painting like Rosario Dawson. This is the first one, and I hate that this is the one. It could have been any other project.
Yeah.
What were some of the highlights from Headland's interview there? What was she?
I will. Can you pull that up, Jill? Because I think it'll play better. Or the sound.
I can only imagine.
Do we know where the interview is?
I can tag you in it really quick.
I'm gonna guess that the Sith are
no, it has nothing to do with anything like that.
Nothing with the Sith. Oh,
way
man.
off.
Jedi. The Jedi are cisgendered white male oppressors.
Yeah,
we're
and
close.
The Sith are trans by LGBTQIA NTY afflicted, misunderstood, and oppressed, and that is why they take a different angle to the Force.
I keep getting the Geeks and Gamers video.
No, I've got it here. I'm about to I'm tagging you in it now.
You want to give Geeks and Gamers a view?
Oh, you have it?
Can't.
I'm only having fun. I'm only teasing Geeks and Gamers. You don't have to
if you do it like a normal person. If you let actors act and put them in positions to be successful, just like you would any other white role. That's the truth of it. When it's a white character, they find a way to do it successfully. Introduction, the lore, the perpetuation. It all goes smoothly. Somehow we all just sputter and go haywire when they're not white.
And before you play, I'm sorry. And like I said, I'm all for inclusion and all that. But when Star Wars, for me, when you step into that universe, it's it's a completely different universe. It and yes, I'm not saying that there's not going to be gay characters, there's not going to be black characters, of course there's going to be all of that in within mythological shit, sci-fi shit. But when you start coming in, and I'm talking as a hardcore Star Wars fan, and you start go ahead now go ahead, play it before I play it. Play what she said.
Ask you both because this is, I would say, arguably the gayest Star Wars, I think, by a considerable margin. And
Right off the bat, huh?
are you excited about that? Are you
Not the
bracing
gayest
yourself?
Star Wars. Not the.
It's pretty gay. Let's be honest. Leslie, how do you feel?
Am I gay?
Are you,
Yes.
Well, no, I know
Yeah.
you are gay, but I'm asking, are you excited about putting this? This
Jesus
is going to be
Christ.
a talking point.
Is it going to be a talking point?
I'm sure some.
Because nerds are gay.
Well,
Yeah.
some nerds are very not gay and are very threatened by gay
Well, that's
stuff.
true. But
Yeah.
in my world, nerds are gay.
Okay. Was this the fun element?
No, I don't think so. And yet people have told me that it's the gayest Star Wars, and I frankly
You're offended?
into
You should
it.
be
No.
I don't.
think
When they
Star Wars
said that,
is so
I don't
gay
think they
already.
meant
Okay.
it the way they're
I mean,
taking it.
have you seen the fit already?
Okay.
I mean, have you seen the fits? We'd be like, look how gay this is, and then send each other a reference photo.
And are you
from-
telling me with a straight face that C3PO is straight?
This is where I have my issues.
That's what I think. But this
A
is more
ro- a
outward.
I think it's
A robot.
Now obviously, as a Star Wars fan, come on, we all know 3PO is, because the actor himself is gay.
but he's a robot. He doesn't.
Right.
He doesn't mingle with anything.
Exactly, but that's my point. That's my point. My point is, when I think of C-3PO in Star Wars, I'm not thinking, oh, look, there's the gay protocol droid. I'm thinking there's fucking badass C-3. Like,
We
C-3PO
don't
has been
even
through
know.
so many bro, it's just crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Within the universe of Star Wars, we don't even know if the word or the concept of gay even exists.
That
It's
is kind
to
of
the point where it's not that it is exclusionary not to acknowledge it. It is factual, right? It makes sense that you don't acknowledge something that doesn't exist in that world, right? It's not going to be at the front of someone's mind how they commingle, how they relate to other organisms or other beings, how they lay or how they procreate. Those type of labels are Eurocentric church ideas, right? They're Eurocentric religious ideas. They come from a very specific area on this planet. And to think that each and every imaginatory or I made that word up. What am I looking for? Fantasy or sci-fi world, right, is going to include the same type of social norms that we live under with the Eurocentric ideas that have been put down on our society.
and
They
I
don't
think
exist.
that's where I
Those
think
rings
that's what
didn't
I was
exist.
getting at. Yeah. I think that's
There's
what I
no
was getting
reason
at
to
when I
go that
first
hard.
said, like, it's a different, completely different universe, completely different elseworld, completely. It's like, it's, so that's why I think that's
We wouldn't be black people. We would just be humans.
right. Maybe
the
right.
idea
And
of a different type of human wouldn't really relegate to anyone other than humans.
to me, honestly, and this might shake the pot, this might make people look at me differently. I don't look at whatever, but I don't get so much upset when I don't see people like me in Star Wars. I get more upset when I don't see aliens in Star Wars. I got upset when I was watching Acolyte episode 1 and he was in the council talking to the kids, and there were 2 aliens, and I was like, why is everyone human? So it's not Star Wars for me. It's supposed to be this just different. I don't know. So I don't when they're having conversations like R2D2 is gay and C3PO is,
also,
and
who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? This interview is for people who are supposed to be watching the Acolyte, right? Those are
He's the
Star
one
Wars
asking it. He's instigating these questions.
Yeah,
The first one
okay,
at least.
But again, you've been in enough press junkets. You know that this guy is there for you. This is not a fan. This is not a guy who sits at home and geeks out about Star Wars theory for 12 hours and then goes to work. His job is to make you feel comfortable, and you know that. So when you're doing this, and millions of people are going to see this, right? Millions
And
of
you know the
Star Wars
South Park
fans are gonna say
episode
this.
about put a lame diverse make her gay. You know that quote.
Fam, like people don't want to see this. You know it. You are online. And whether you agree with those folks or not, for whatever reason, you know that tenor is there. Why is it so easy for them to invite this type of this is cringeworthy.
Yeah.
Even if I am on your side, this is cringeworthy. This has nothing to do with Star Wars. You are not
That's my
telling me
point.
that you're
That's my
ingratiated with
point.
the show. You're not telling me that you've been studying. You're not telling me how hard you've been working on it. You're not telling me about the things I should be excited about to come. You're
There
talking
you
about
go.
how Star Wars is Acolyte is the gayest Star Wars show ever.
There you
I
go.
don't think anybody said that to you and meant to laugh with you.
In her defense,
That-
she did like 10, 20 of these sit downs, and all 19 of those were not gay related stuff.
And that's
I
that,
hope so.
and that's fine. I get that, but for the last thing that Marco was saying there was nail on the head for me, because it was like, this is not Star Wars related, and I want to make it very clear because I know that there are people. Obviously, I'm an ally, so I want to make it very clear when I say this. I'm not saying that a character can't be gay in Star Wars. That's not what I'm saying. I mean, like Marcus was saying earlier, that's not something that's ever been talked about in Star Wars, but I'm not saying that can't be. What I'm saying is when Star Wars is in the delicate place that it is currently in, and you are having the conversation, these are not the conversations that you should be having. You just had last week one of the main characters talking about Anakin blew up the goddamn Death Star. Now you've got the director and showrunner and the main actress on an interview that's going everywhere, and it's the interview that's getting the most attention right now when Star Wars is in a, again, very delicate spot. Instead, we could be talking about who the potential Sith Lords could be, potentially being Plagueis and Palpatine. We could be talking about what this next episodes are going to be, we could be talking about lore undertoning Star Wars things, but instead we are talking about how C-3PO and R2-D2 are the gayest characters in Star Wars, and Acolyte is the gayest Star Wars
Who
show.
wants to hear that? Imagine I went to a Desperate Housewives reunion, right? Desperate Housewives is coming back for another season. They got Eva Longoria out of the whatever back room she's hiding in or whatever, right? They're doing a press junket, and I'm the head showrunner, and they ask me something about Desperate Housewives, and I say, actually, you know what? I never watched the show until I got the job. But I always imagine what all of them would be, what their positions would be as football players. Right? Who's going to play quarterback? Who's left tackle? Who's center? Who's running back? I've always been thinking about that, and it's just the funniest thing to me. This is actually the most football female show ever.
Let's finish up the interview.
You know what I mean?
Right.
This is more
I
I
get you.
think it's canon that R2D2 is a lesbian.
Oh,
Ooh.
interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Ask Filoni. Okay.
Ask for
Can you
one.
imagine?
Yeah, talk to Filoni.
Amanda
I don't know if that
Stenberg
was
is
supposed to be. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Amanda Stenberg is too. She knows
Better.
She knows that the racial battle to climb and that struggle is important to her, and she's like, that's what she wants to accomplish. I think more prioritized than the gay barriers and that mountain to climb. I think from her.
And my
I
thing
roll.
is, if you want to have these if this is a conversation you want to put into the documentary or whatever like that behind, that's fine. But again, in the press conference, when you've got eyes on these press conferences, because there are people. Let's be real. There's that crowd that wants, even if the show is good, they want it to fail. Better example, X-Men 97. There were people that were talking shit about 97 before it came out, but then tweeted to Bo DeMeo himself, "I'm sorry, I was wrong. This is brilliant." There are people that are preying on Acolyte, wanting it to fail, and you are giving people exactly what they want. Do you think that, I'm telling you, Star Wars, it's just into delicate. We should be talking about shit that hypes fans up, characters we want to see, bring back lore. Instead, you're misgendering R2 because he's not a girl, he's a he. And then you saying that, oh, he's a lesbian. Like it's like,
But
for
I've
her
been
to
through.
be
I've been through
Go
this.
ahead.
Plant the flag of gay on a character. Iceman from Bobby Drake from the X-Men. I've been like experiencing this over the last decade or so. It's nothing new. It's just the latest, and it doesn't make anything canonically changed with her saying, "I think R2D2 is gay." It's like no
Right.
substance. Just talk. And
It is.
I roll it, and they do want this publicity. Why do you think Kathleen Kennedy had her New York Times interview from last week that we didn't get to cover?
Mhm.
But she does
Right.
that because she knows she wants.
Right.
Well, we're just watching Geeks and Gamers, who clipped it. She knows she wants Geeks and Gamers to talk about it because she's got to get the free promotion that there's a new show. And even if they're going to be bad mouthing it, the fact that people are talking about Acolyte, who may have not have known that on June 2nd, a new episode of a new episode of a Star Wars TV show come out, she knows that she's got to give this bone. It's a relationship that they have at these two extremes. The Kathleen Kennedy, the Star Wars, South Park persona is a real persona, and the people who
Right.
want to hate, they're a real thing. And we're just in between waiting to see and developing story that's interesting and talk about Wookiee Jedis, and we're not getting that.
Right. And this is the last thing I'm saying on it. I want to, again, because like you said there, it's just talk. At the end of the day, R2D2 is still canonically who R2D2 is. And I understand that. That's why I said I don't have a problem with this conversation. I just think this is the wrong time for this conversation within Star Wars. It's the wrong, you need to be hyping fans up. You've already got some fans scared talking about that. Okay, so we know that Amanda's character is the Acolyte. Her master is the Sith apprentice to the, I could be wrong. I don't know if it's to his master or to his two masters, which then breaks, again, canonically, the rule of two. So it's just like, I don't. So we're waiting. And then this next episode, we're hearing this third episode is going to, I guess, change the way we view the Force.
I know what it is, and yeah.
I don't.
Okay.
That's interesting. So,
I don't like that.
yeah.
Don't take big swings. Don't take big swings.
It might be the final episode I watch because I don't have to see this stuff and accept it in my head as canon.
Yeah,
Right.
that's where I'm kind of at with it. Like, if it's too bad, I can just pretend that it doesn't exist.
And it sucks that it's the one with Amanda Stenberg starring in it. Like you guys couldn't screw this up with Pedro Pascal's character or whoever else it was.
They tried.
And this is really, really, truly the last thing I'm saying on it, because I've seen the rumors of people saying like, oh, it. Well, let me put it this way. In Star Wars, obviously, the Force is looked at in many different ways. Like, the Zeb's race. Why am I
Aurelian?
blanking on what Zeb is? Anyway,
Zeb Aurelian.
They call the Force, Ashla, and there are so many different views of what the Force is. So I don't know if that's what it is. I've seen some people saying, "Oh, that's more what it is." The witches are looking at it, but I've heard others.
Lasat.
Yeah, so Lasat. That's right. So anyway, we'll have to wait to see what this next episode is. But let's
hurry up before the basketball game starts.
Didn't hate it. Didn't care that much either. But so the next thing we can talk about is the Captain America 4 stuff.
They're making a Captain America 4? Oh, you mean Falcon? Never mind.
Yeah, Falcon. Brave New World. So obviously Giancarlo Esposito, we didn't get to talk about this as a group, is going to be whoever he is going to be portraying in.
I'm pretty sure we know.
Who is?
Have you seen the set photos?
The one, yes. I've seen them, the newest ones. Yeah.
I think, and if you don't want to hear, please butt out. I'm going to say it very quickly and then discuss why I hate that that's what they're doing. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I think it's going to be Bushman, the Moon Knight villain that they kept talking up towards the end of the season. I think it's going to be Bushman, and I don't know for the life of me why he would accept that role. I don't know why. He's going to die. He's going to die by the end of that movie. I think it's going to lead to a Moon Knight cameo. But
with the talks of Moon Knight season 2.
Yeah, I don't understand why he would take this. The list of black actors who have gotten these like dead end roles with Marvel, and even when they get a slightly relevant role, how they get treated. I do not understand why people are still signing up. I don't get it. Lawrence Fishburne, Angela Bassett, Samuel L. Jackson. Right? Samuel L. Jackson was a 12-year Christmas ornament for the MCU. Now Giancarlo Esposito, is he going to be Norman Osborn? Is he going to be Doom? Is he going to be he's going to be Bushman?
That's not
Mark,
what I thought at all.
No, me either. Is this a villain? Who's Bushman?
yeah, he's a
villain in Moon Knight.
Yeah, I was about to say he was the mercenary that Mark was working for in Egypt.
Oh, lame.
When he got
The
shot,
one that was never shown in
Yeah.
the original season.
he got shot and then gave his life over to Khonshu. Rest is history, whatnot. This also feels like they're forcing Moon Knight down our throat prematurely. Pause. No diddy. I don't know why that would be a character that we need to tie into this. There's so many auxiliary characters in this movie. It almost is going to feel like it's not Anthony Mackie's fault if it fails. And maybe that's
if
the
you
point. That's the
go
point.
back to pull that up. Google that really quick. Chill if you can. Let's go back to early last year. Moon Knight was supposed to be in Brave New World. They were going to have him in Brave New World as like not just a cameo. It was supposed to be like a three buddy cop film,
sense, right? That would make sense.
Yeah, it was supposed to be him and Bucky and Sam.
It says that Moon Knight was strongly rumored. I think we desperately need to see an Avengers team post it. Here, he debunks it.
Yeah, that was a while. It was a while. Yeah, it was a long time ago. It's a long time ago that Moon Knight was rumored to show up in Brave New World, or at that time it was something else. Captain New World Order is what it was. It was New World Order.
I would have loved to see him as Norman Osborn.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
But I would have loved to see him as Norman Osborn.
I wanted to see him as a hero.
Yeah, I guess so. He's been playing a lot of villains. You're right. He has been playing a lot of villains.
But who heroically? Who would you put?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like all of the better older characters are villains. You know, unless you're going to make him some throwaway.
You're right.
Who could he be?
Yeah,
Uncle Aaron. He's a villain.
Aaron, the Prowler.
I don't know. I don't know, but I just
too old to be.
You could also create a character who's not a comic book character, same way that Shield agent Coulson, him.
Yeah, there you go.
They just made a character.
Yeah. We need a new Coulson. We need a new like glue. There's not a common theme through all of the MCU projects anymore. We need a Coulson.
Yeah.
We need a Shield. Like, what is Sword doing? What do they do?
Change their names and what the letters stand for.
When's the last time we saw Sword?
The Marvels.
Yes.
Oh shit.
The Marvels. And they weren't doing shit then either.
Yeah. Well, Brave New World right now this is what just things that are out. It's only scheduled for it's the schedule for the 22 days of reshoots, and that's the new action scenes that we've seen, the behind the scenes stuff with Giancarlo and his whatever they're shooting with him. And some of the stuff with the Serpent Society. We've seen some behind the scenes stuff with them.
Yeah. I don't think they switched the suit back completely to I think what they're doing is there's going to be a period where he's like a government op. And so that's when he's going to have the facial shield stuff on. He look like Taskmaster or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
And then he's going to probably end up back in what we seen him at the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier when he's trying to be a free man, whatever.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like we're headed for. Like, oh, yeah, Sam, let me bring you in, brother. We put my arm over you. We need you, just so you can be a propaganda tool like we wanted John Carter to be. And then when he doesn't want any more of that, then he's out of there. This is the guy we need.
Well, Chad is saying he can play Blue Marvel. And he's old enough, but is he bulky enough?
I don't know if I'm sorry. No, for me.
They really need to soup him up. Like, they really need to soup him up. And I don't think he's young enough to put on that kind of mask.
You don't even have to get an older actor to play Adam because you can still just put the hair coloring on the side. You don't have to. Yes, you don't have to have this old actor to play. I would prefer you don't pull an older actor in to play Adam. I don't think Adam's coming into the MCU anyway, but if
they wouldn't do it.
If what I believe, or at least what has been shown, is true, if Nate Moore is the guy who has to get the black characters in, and then ends up manning the projects. So like, how much faith we got in that for real? How much faith do we got in a Nate Moore produced, executive produced Blue Marvel project?
No. No. No,
but
no,
he's
no,
got
no,
his
no.
arms crossed. That looks like he means business. Why is Jeffrey right on screen?
They're gonna have
Are they related?
Oh, well, what if? I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
the leader. You know, the leader's a part of this as well. Tim Blake. Tim Blake Nelson. He just recently did an interview talking about how it's exciting to come back, and it's been 16 years, and Marvel's found an interesting way for what he's been up to these past 16 years to make it fit within, you know, everything. And I'm wondering though, since we haven't seen anything of him behind the scenes, how obviously that's got to be a lot of CGI too. Is he going to look like the leader, or is it going to be the MCU's version of whatever the
Ooh,
leader?
I see that. Now I'm
is?
nervous again, right? Because look what we just got in MODOK. And if that's the
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of figure ish that we're going with, the big head or whatnot.
No, Victoria Alonso is not there anymore. So I don't expect MODOK levels of CGI
Yeah.
and Thor.
I hate the idea of it just being like, oh, Victoria's coming through the VFX office with her slave whip, making these projects out like it was all her fault. Like it just feels too easy for that to be the case. So like, you prove me wrong is basically what I'm saying. Prove me wrong. Show me with Deadpool and Wolverine.
Pull up a picture, Jill.
Show me something else that's without her, and then when her name stops showing up in the executive producer credits and it looks better, then we'll say it. But until then,
The MODOK stuff though, it was her, and even though she was gotten rid of, we have to say like this movie was being produced while she was
Bro, I haven't seen this movie in such a long time.
oh my God, they went back, and that's what they came back with. They scrapped it, and that's what they came back with.
Man, that's so funny.
Woo!
Pull up one of the
Jesus
leader.
Christ.
What he obviously the comic version of him.
What did he die saying? I'm not an asshole.
Yeah, some stupid shit.
the leader.
Yeah, see, can they do that?
See,
and
okay,
make it
homeboy
look
right here on the
good?
right, that's pretty practical. I think they could get there. Anything away
that's
too far out of that is going to be hard for them to do.
Yeah, you're talking about Tim Blake on the ground there.
Yeah, the one sitting next to Tim Blake. If they go that route, looking for him, that should be pretty simple.
I think that should be pretty easy to do, and that's what I'm really wanting. Do I think we're gonna get that? I don't know, but that's what I want. That's what I would really like him to look like. Yeah, I'd prefer him look like that right there. That'd be dope. I don't think so, but that
it's supposed to look off-putting. I give them that. Like, I'm not gonna be too mad if this doesn't look the right way.
Yeah.
And
no, it doesn't have to be clean.
Cartoonishly bad.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
Make it practical and save your money.
Yeah. I believe in prosthetics, man. I think that made movies better, especially like sci-fi stuff. Like I'm not a Trekkie at all, but looking at Vulcans, from time to time, looking at the different species on there and just seeing prosthetics instead of, digitized faces, it adds something to the production.
I like prosthetics. I like prosthetics.
When it comes to the character of Yoda, the CGI Yoda is the best. And remember the puppet that they did even in The Last Jedi.
And Phantom Menace. I prefer
that looks
the
like
puppet.
a real creature just kind of waddling around.
Live chat. You're either gonna live chat, write puppet, or you're gonna write CGI. Which is the better?
I
Yoda?
honestly,
practical
now,
prosthetics better
in
than
episode 2. In episode 2, I like the CGI. In episode 1, I like him as the puppet. I really do.
I don't think that version even exists anymore. So I don't know what you're going off your memory.
It doesn't exist.
That's why we can't even.
Unless you have, I still have my DVD before George went in there and tinkered with shit.
Why are you doing stuff? Sit down. Did you sell some shit?
Yeah.
MoFly says CGI. I got MoFly on my side. I don't need anyone else. We're good.
My boy Panther said puppet. He got you.
Yeah, for sure, the puppet. But these are some of the things we do know for Captain America: Brave New World. This is something that's kind of rumored. It says Ross suffers from a heart failure that the leader gives him a cure for. But when the leader releases a video of Ross torturing him, and it makes Ross go crazy, and the cure is starting to affect him and turn him into Red Hulk. Don't know if this is accurate things.
Storyline ever.
I'm telling you.
I had a heart attack. You gave me something to fix my heart attack, but then you showed the world that you fixed my heart attack. It enrages me, and that turns me into Red Hulk.
Red for the heart.
Why didn't you just make it happen while you were fixing my heart problems? Why didn't you just?
Yeah.
Why is Malcolm Spellman still on this?
No, you know what I'm gonna say, Marcus? Every reason is stupid. What, a radioactive spider? Oh my god, cosmic rays. They're all stupid reasons to get powers.
No, they're comic book stupid, and then there's actual practical stupid and convoluted. Like, you don't need this many layers. I obviously gave you something while I was doing your procedure for your heart, and that led to you being Red Hulk. What is this shit about you getting so angry that you just spontaneously burst into Red Hulk? Like, dog, what are we doing?
It's the ingredients: sugar, spice, chemical X, anger,
all of that.
Anger, right? Blind rage.
Then there's the basic question of how the fuck is Sam going to even do any of this powerless? He's supposed to be teaming up, obviously, with Falcon, Sabra, Isaiah Bradley, and all of them will fight the Red Hulk.
So then, does that mean that talk about Isaiah being a terrorist maybe isn't true? Let's hope that that got done.
Well, that was actually footage they showed. That was in the 9-minute footage they showed.
Oh Lord Jesus, help me!
Yeah, so he's
going to be a terrorist turned good guy in the same movie.
Yes, but he's got the same thing like Bucky. It's instead of Sokovia 1965, it's going to be some music or something that or whatever it was that Zemo was telling him. But that's it's going to be something like that. The music, a music or something that's going to set him off.
I want to see Sabra call him a terrorist.
At the end, Sam uses adamantium to siphon out the gamma radiation from Ross, which seems to kill him. At the end, Ross is revealed to still be alive, but being used by the government. Sam seemingly rebuilds the Avengers in secret to avoid government interference.
The president? The
president.
So maybe
again, grain of salt.
Is he the president when he becomes Red Hulk?
He's supposed to be president in this. He is, yes, because in the scene, yeah.
And they're just going to secretly use the president of the United States.
They will probably have a worldwide funeral, but then secretly keep him as a weapon for the government.
Now, imagine the spectacle that they will put on for a fictional American president passing away, who's not actually dead in the movie, in comparison to what we got for T'Challa. Can you imagine the comparison? I mean, they are going to have people watching from all corners of the earth.
Heroes will be there.
Down. Oh my God, they're gonna show up. Hey,
cameo. T'Chaka's gonna cameo.
It's gonna be T'Chaka's gonna cameo. His coffin's gonna slide back down into the atmosphere real fast and then pop back out. It's gonna be like Coachella. It's gonna be lit.
And this is the last thing it says. It says the last thing Brave New World is going to show other countries harvesting materials to develop their own superhero teams.
Thunderbolts.
Yeah. Alpha Flight.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Young Avengers.
Oh God, no.
Yeah. Teams plural. Yeah. Young Avengers.
Yeah, but there's just no juice there. How are you going to get it off the ground? Make it a Disney Spotlight. Now that might not be a bad idea. Young Avengers Disney Spotlight.
They are banking on the popularity of Haley Steinfeld and Iman Benali.
Haley Steinfeld's almost 30 years old. She's nobody's young Avenger.
No, you're right. You are absolutely correct. They are currently casting looking for who they want to play Speed. So we know the twins are going to be in it. I don't know if Elijah's going to be in it or not.
Elijah Bradley.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be in it or not. But the dude that plays him, I follow him on Instagram. He has been in that gym ever since we last saw him in Falcon Winter Soldier. You want to put somebody up front as like the muscle of the team, as the Patriot?
That's who I figured was going to be Patriot. That's who I figured they were going to be using.
Should be Patriot.
And not this like close to 100-year-old man. Remember, Isaiah was the super soldier before Steve. Steve is literally almost 100 years old. How old is Isaiah? So I thought we were going to be on Elijah by now. That's why all these Isaiah name drops is throwing me off.
Wait. Hold on. I'm going to show. Let me see. It's Eli Bradley. My fault. Eli, because his
real name's Elijah.
Yeah, I do that with him every time. I mix up his name with the
Elijah Richardson. Okay,
yeah.
So no matter what and how good looking
you haven't pulled up. You haven't pulled up. Go to his Instagram. Someone said in the chat. Oh, I can share it. I can share it. Hold on. Let me see.
He's not going to be the lead of the cast. Iman Vellani and who else is there? Haley Steinfeld is too expensive not to be the lead of this cast.
Yeah, it's a money grab. It's a money grab.
All these kids are going to be like in their damn near their 30s by the time this movie gets off.
His first post is Falcon and Winter Soldier. He must have scrubbed his Instagram because
I'm telling you, bro, he would be great.
He might end up in this movie, y'all.
No, I think he is in the movie. I don't want to say that. It was rumored. I haven't seen shit about it.
He might end up in this movie.
He might be in it, but I'm talking about Young Avengers wise, moving forward with a Patriot. I would still like him to be Patriot. He was already introduced in Falcon Winter Soldier. So yeah,
with all due respect, he is not tall, and I don't think that's someone that the studio is going to look at and say we can get behind him.
No, not tall, but he was already
a Young Avenger.
To be a Young Avenger, so he's tall enough for that.
He's tall enough to be a Young Avenger. Now, I wasn't expecting him to lead the MCU eventually. That's not where
I was going with it.
We never get that far in this current continuity that the Young Avengers are real Avengers is my hope. But
and if with them doing the Young Avengers, they've got so it's gonna be Haley is
Iman Vellani,
Hawkeye, Ms. Marvel, and the two twins,
Cassie, because they already mentioned Cassie in the post credit. Scar possibly,
Riri
possibly. Maybe Kid Loki if he shows back up in some capacity.
Are they ever going to do anything with the kid from the barn?
No.
Oh, from Iron Man 3?
He's never coming back.
How old is he now? He's got to be Steinfeld's age.
An adult. Yeah, Steinfeld's age. Close to 30.
So it's like the Acolyte for Star Wars. I don't care about the Young Avengers for Marvel.
And then if Vision's kids get introduced in the Vision show, possibly them. There's your is that a roster enough to garner asses and seats
as a feature-length film in the theater? I don't think so. But if you make it Marvel Spotlight and you play it up as a feature-length film on the streaming service, it might do you some numbers.
Oh, America Chavez too. Raymond, yeah. I forgot about that. I forgot about it. I just wanted to, say it's another name.
She ain't messing with them Young Avengers. She in Strange Academy with Ned. Another missed opportunity to make some connectivity there. They left him at the temple with the monks. Why didn't America Chavez see her in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness?
Yeah.
Anyways, but they I think if they prime it for a streaming release, it could get some positive traction. These characters are nowhere near popular enough to have a movie hit in the theaters, and there's not enough time to make them popular enough because they're all in their late 20s. These are supposed to be high school age kids.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to look that way forever. Not all of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
If
true.
you call it the word Avengers has some cachet to it, and you're guaranteed to get millions more than you would if you called it anything else.
You don't
Young
want to
Avengers.
lean on that
You
because
don't.
you'll
You're-
ruin it. You'll kill
Yep.
it. You will
Yep.
literally kill it. People thought that a long time about Lucas brand.
I agree. I think you play it safe and
Lucasfilm.
you make it a spotlight. You don't make it a feature length film, because I'm just thinking too, like, so what is the threat? Is this fit within the multiversal saga, or is this
No, it's
like,
got to be street level threats, because again, anything above that, real Avengers are coming, and it doesn't even make sense for this to be happening like that.
the only way this makes sense, and I've said this many times, is if you do Children's Crusade, but you still don't have a lot of pieces to even do that.
No.
If you're trying to bring Doctor Doom into the MCU, there's a way. You've got Children's Crusade. What's Wanda been up to in that comic? She was married to Doom in Latveria. When you catch back up with her, that's also Kang is also a part of that story, and Iron Lad. That's how you could bring in some type of Kang variant and then make the Young Avengers somewhat interesting to fit within. I mean, the X-Men are part of that too, but you don't have to use them. I mean, Marvel does that shit all the time. Major pieces they'll take out. So you could do some type of MCU crafted Children's Crusade to make it make sense, because you do a street level feature length film with the Young Avengers, that shit bombs much worse than the Marvels. Much
It can
worse
at least
than the
be
Marvels.
Werewolf by Night. Just be Werewolf by
Yeah.
Night.
Yeah. I agree. So we'll move though. The next thing that we've got is Jordan Peele. So obviously Jordan Peele was talked about a lot this past week about from Jeff Snyder putting out that Jordan Peele had met with Marvel for a director role, and he didn't share what director role. He says he knows, but he didn't share what director role it was for. But a lot of speculation has gone around. Some people claiming X-Men. Some people, I don't know why people are saying Blade, because Flock was still on Blade, is he not? Yeah, so I don't know.
I didn't hear anything about them changing them.
Yeah, so he's still there. And then of course the Midnight Suns. I think
X-Men and Midnight Suns.
Yeah, I think more Midnight Suns is what I think. I think he just fits that more. You know, he's already that horror type of director. Whatever the threat would even be in Midnight Suns, you have him come in, and I think he could really craft some. Bro, you let him get his hands on Man Thing, Werewolf by Night, Blade, Dane Whitman, throw Moon Knight's crazy ass in there. Who else is spooky? I've even heard the rumors of Wanda being a part of that. You throw them all on, because she's not about to be a Avenger. This bitch, she's killed a lot of people. She's got some redemption. She's got arcs she's got to go through. So you put her on a darker Midnight Suns type of team.
Those are your friends now.
Yeah, I think that could be. And if Blade, and if this is just a theory that I've seen, if Blade is the villain and they do that whole blood hunt right now, because there's the rumors that Dracula, because Lilith, I don't even believe Lilith. I think she's a part of this, but I don't believe she's the main villain anymore, with them looking at a male main villain for Blade. And if it's Dracula that they're going with, which I don't know why they didn't do that in the very fucking beginning. But if it's Dracula, they're going
vampire.
with right.
I hope they cast a white guy. I hope the Dracula's not cast with someone. They get diverse in that one. I hope that they can get a Caucasian male, as they have no problem with casting, to be the guy who gets killed by Blade.
Many black people in Transylvania. I don't think they're going to have a hard time with that.
Right.
It's Disney.
But you could do the whole blood hunt thing and make Blade the villain of the Midnight Suns.
Yeah.
I think that could be dope. I think Jordan Peele could definitely craft some spooky.
Our boy Zach Knight said, discussing film, said that it didn't work out. It might have been X-Men. I would have liked to see an X-Men from Jordan Peele for sure. I think he has the right social tenor, but it's just subtle enough to make you pay attention to something else going on while that's happening. You almost don't notice that you're having a social conversation with him. That's why I think he would be very good for X-Men. Midnight Suns is right up his alley. I agree with everything you said, the character list. I don't know if I'm leaning too heavily on discussing film, but hopefully if something comes about of that, I think that marriage would benefit both very well. Number one, getting a serious director in there, somebody whose name is respected, who we know we can
Mhm.
trust his vision. And then also on the Jordan Peele side, that's mainstream exposure that's going to continue to perpetuate him to make the kind of projects that he's been making. Us, like them, like Get Out.
Marcus, he's already there.
It's not permanent. Don't take that for granted. He's going to have to pay his dues with some of these companies to continue to get those opportunities.
Are you talking about the independency he has where he currently is to make the films
I
he
would
wants?
say exactly like some of the projects that are getting picked up by some of these larger studios. I think Get Out was
Paramount.
Right.
Paramount,
It's a part of his
Paramount.
contract, I believe, where he can make outside, but if it's like something that they want him to do, he's got to do their film.
I'm saying I'm outside of contract. I'm speaking just socially Hollywood stuff.
Oh,
here.
okay.
I'm thinking he still has to pay the piper on some of these projects, and that's why he's even entertaining a Marvel. He wouldn't have been my first thought of doing a Marvel project. I think he's taken this meeting because it's good for his career, not because he needs it, not because he won't make money otherwise with other studios,
Mhm.
because it is just like another one of those accomplishment things.
His next film was with Marlon Williams. Marlon Wayans, yeah, the brothers.
Yeah.
It's
What
called
was that?
Him. It's called Him, and it's coming out next year. Now
Okay.
that's Jordan Peele.
Is
Here's
it
what I'm
horror
thinking.
based?
Yeah, horror based. He's a top tier director. With him, you know that there's going to be a black movie happening. Yay! With him off of that independent and it goes to the Marvel, then what's going to replace it with? Like there's no one else there. So now it's costing a black movie. I know you don't think this way, but I do. It's costing the world a black movie from a competent director with a
Well, I'm not
budget.
saying he has to do it permanently. I'm not saying he has to be Ryan Coogler. He's in Marvel.
Even
It's
one movie.
Marvel's
Okay,
pocket.
one movie would cost a
Yeah,
movie,
just
but you're
a
also saying
movie.
it brings up his name value for future movies. I
Point
can
in
see.
case, we respect Spike Lee the same way we're talking about Jordan Peele, probably more, right? Because he's been around longer.
Yeah.
What does a Spike Lee Marvel project look like? And
I would love
then
to see
also having that added to his filmography is
Not
a
that he-
level
like
of
you said.
talent you just don't
Yeah.
think about necessarily with Spike.
And it's like you said, he don't need it.
Yeah, he
Spike
doesn't
doesn't
need it.
need that. But
My
to
best
have
case
that on
scenario.
your resume,
Have it on your resume, what, Marvel, or does it got to be a particular movie? Because if it's the Black
I would
Panther
say
3 movie
Marvel.
that Jordan Peele
No,
is,
it doesn't
that
have
Jeff
to necessarily
Snyder
be
knows,
Marvel.
if Jeff Snyder is saying, I know what movie it's going to be, well, what do we know that's coming out? X-Men was one of them that you named. Midnight Suns is not confirmed or anything.
no.
Black Panther 3 is. I initially was thinking it would be that movie, and I can't wait for Ryan Coogler not to be part of that movie. Black
I don't
Panther 3
think
with
he
Jordan
is.
Peele, then I'd go, shine. Okay,
Ooh.
cool. We're not going to get the next them. They're not going to get the next, I mean, not them, him. We're not going to get the next Us, Get Out, but Black Panther 3 is going to be fire. That's not a waste of resources. That's the best, most thing
Sure.
that Jordan Peele can do. And we get what you
Sure.
were just asking for.
Yeah.
I
No,
could see
Spike
Jordan
Lee,
Peele.
Luke Cage, absolutely.
I could see Jordan Peele doing it. That would make me, but then again, it would make me happy to have him attached to a Black Panther 3, but then that falls back into the same conversation. Who is Black Panther in this? Is T'Challa in this? You know, he can come
I don't think we
on.
have to ask that question with Jordan. I don't think we would have to ask that question with him. If he were to get his hands on it, I think he would revert back to the source. And
I think that's why they would use him instead of Coogler, because Coogler
Yeah.
can't do it without Chadwick Boseman. So
Exactly.
Okay, so
He would
we're
report
going
back
in
to
the
the
we're
source.
going on the conversation of that Marvel wants this. Marvel wants him recast. Marvel wants the character. Okay, then yeah. I'm not saying
if that's what they're doing, right? They're doing that because they're not in a very good spot. If they're making a hard left turn like that, like replacing the guy in towards the end of the trilogy, then it's because something's off. And so the only answer is to get back to basics at that point.
yeah. John Singleton was a great one.
Sure. R.I.P. John Singleton.
Yeah. So yeah, I think Jordan Peele would be great part of the MCU. I didn't even think of BP3, but I could definitely. I would love that.
Trying to think of another like dark character, even DC wise, that I would like to see him do. like a mystical character.
A Brother Voodoo, if they ever were to do something like that.
Would they give him? He would probably wouldn't get his own movie though. They definitely wouldn't give him his own movie.
No.
I had to think on that for a while.
Yeah, but one of the last things we have, or the last thing that we got here, is just Avengers 5, because there's been some talk on Avengers 5, and it has just been about who's going to direct. You know, Daniel RPK had put out some worrisome tweets a couple weeks ago talking about how the film has been stripped down completely. We don't know who the villain's going to be. It's going to be a small group of Avengers, and the list was like Moon Knight, She-Hulk, and just some very CF list characters and within the MCU, and it worried some people. So now this came from an actual trade, not a scooper. This was coming from the Hollywood Reporter, that Marvel is going to have 60 plus characters in this Avengers 5 film. And this is kind of what it's saying. It's saying that the feature is going to over 60 MCU characters ensemble instead of a handful of characters leading the team. Thor, Loki, Hulk, Doctor Strange, Nebula, and Shang-Chi are among the potential characters. Michael Waldron has turned in the latest script. Production begins in 2025. The main villain is unknown, and Shawn Levy is the top choice to direct.
Yay.
It's better than the shit we were hearing that was going to be a small group and grounded and not connected really to much of what was going on. I never understood that. I never really truly believed that was real either.
Seems like they expanded the character list and condensed the story. Like they're going to give us a simpler synopsis and more nostalgia and glitz and grammar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and I mean for an Avengers film, your first one in half a decade, I don't think that's terrible thinking.
No,
I just hope that we're in a good enough spot with the MCU and Waldron has a good enough story that'll hold it all together. Because She-Hulk, Moon Knight, those characters being involved in this are not breeding confidence into it. And so I think that's kind of the reason why you see some of the additions that they're talking about with all these extra characters, because you really need to bolster that up. We're going to be coming in light if She-Hulk is a headline character in an Avengers film. We're coming up very, very, very light.
Yeah, no. And that's at one point, that's what it was going to be. My thing was this. I never really had a problem with She-Hulk being a main face for the Avengers had it not been for She-Hulk, the show. Yeah. Before the show, I was like, yeah, She-Hulk's dope in the comics. I mean, I think she'd be a great, but no. And I don't dislike, I don't know how everybody else feels. I don't dislike Tatiana's Maslany as She-Hulk. I just don't like I didn't like the direction they just took with it. But I don't think She-Hulk, if maybe under a different direction, maybe written differently, different tone, maybe she could be.
I don't know how you fix that character. I don't know. Like it's very well established from that show who she is. So without a very stark turn and an explanation as to why that happened, she's kind of stuck in that. Like now on a team, I feel like she's obviously going to be a bruiser, but it's going to come with some of that Ben Grimm effect. Like he's a bruiser with comic relief,
Right.
That's what I feel like she's headed. In a lineup with Shang-Chi, Shuri, who else? Sam Wilson, Thor, and her cousin. Who's the comedic relief? Who's the Joker? Right. It's her, right? It's her. And for no other reason than that's what was established in her show. And now that makes her most likely to be the butt of everything, the butt of all the jokes. So expect her to get some of that treatment that Hulk has been getting. Oh, I'm going to get knocked off a building and fall 12 stories and walk back. Oh, I'm going to yell and fake scream and act like I'm insane again. Oh, I'm going to start acting like I don't want to turn. My inner me is going to start fighting me. And I'm just going to be a human for a couple of movies. Like, expect to see some of that because she has to carry it now because her introduction was so ineffective now comedy will be the only way that she'll be stomached other than punching things.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of
No,
unfortunate.
you're right. It is. It is unfortunate. I don't know if it's going to be like obviously multiversal stuff with 60 plus heroes, or I don't know if it's just going to be. Do they have
Characters,
60
60
plus?
characters. So it
Oh,
could be
that's right.
Deadpool's friends who
Characters.
were
That's
also
right.
there. It could be a bunch of magicians that don't really have speaking roles.
No, we don't give a shit about.
That's true.
Sure, Evil Dead guy will pop up at some point with hot dogs or something.
Aunt May.
Aunt May will pop up, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So that 60 plus 60 plus characters. There was something else they had.
They didn't know the
said about
villain.
this.
You said they didn't know the villain,
Yeah.
and that makes me
Don't
go:
know
is
who the
Jonathan
villain.
Majors still a candidate for this? Where in Civil War they did the movie, they're like, we don't know if we're gonna have Iron Man in it or not. We also don't know if we'll have Spider-Man in it or not. This kind of feels like the same vibes. Michael Walton just gives the script. There's the with Iron Man or without Iron Man version of the script, and this time it would be with Jonathan Majors as Kang or without him.
Do you think that they're like secretly?
I think they're waiting for that appeal, which he could win.
Is that
could win this appeal.
Still up? I thought the judge denied his appeal.
Oh yeah, the court appeal for the judge. Yes, the judge said no, and this is the precedent. That's fine. So he lost that appeal. But when it comes to the appeals court, where he gets to say, "Hey, I got these reasons," and he'll provide new reasons, that hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
Well.
I think recasting him is not as seamless as they're going. I think we've talked about this before. It's not going to be as seamless as a transition as everybody's making it out to be. Like, oh, just get Coleman Domingo. Well, okay. I think Venom and its new trailer and whatever the hell Sony's got going on over there, just showed us how easily something like that can throw an entire fan base in disarray.
Chiwetel Ejiofor?
Yes. Yeah, I'm so glad you can say his name.
Yeah, sure can.
So is that variant Baron Mordo? No, actually, he's a completely different character, right? A throwaway character that you didn't need to use at all, but let's just convolute this whole MCU thing all over again. Oh, and by the way, I don't know if anybody caught it. Remember you probably don't because it really wasn't that great of a movie. The bar, yes, the symbiote at the bar. And now that erroneous character is picking up the sample at the bar, even though that was supposed to have happened within the MCU because that's where Venom got transported back at the end of No Way Home.
Well, Sony,
how
they have the rights to do storytelling in the MCU. Okay, those are the rules.
But it's their story. They did No Way Home and they did Venom, and now they're doing the new Venom. They are messing up their own isolated continuity.
It would appear so.
What the fuck what is going on? What is happening, man?
Yep. I was just having this conversation on our whatever when we ever streamed last. Talking about how Sony they have autonomy. They have the say.
They can do it, sure. But everyone knows Marvel Studios gets to control what happens in their universe. So when Sony says
these, what is Kevin doing? How did that get? How did that to that degree? How did he even get cast? And if you don't care anything about reusing actors, then I can get Sterling K. Brown as Blue Marvel. If you don't care about reusing actors, shoot. There's a few I'd like to bring back and put into more relevant spaces. I'd rather not have Lawrence Fishburne dying slowly in the corner as Goliath. You know, maybe we can repurpose him and put him in as anything else. But that's some of the problems you run into with this convoluted nature of just willy-nilly recasting. Which is such a stark comparison to the recast that we want, right?
There's double casting with Gemma Chan. There's a lot of times where they'll just
convoluted. Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah.
Hey, it's good to be amongst brothers who can see the same thing that I am seeing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they're gonna do with the whole. I don't know. They got to figure that out.
Venom is so shot. It is so shot. Why did they make that movie?
Yeah, I watched that trailer and I I kind of regret not doing a reaction because it could have been, it wasn't going to be no like, oh, like some people's fake ass thumbnails, because it was never any of that.
It was what was going on in that studio, in that film
No.
that was making you do this?
Exactly. That trailer, the whole time, I'm just like, I don't think my facial expression. I know I did at the end of it. I said, and it wasn't like a like
You said, HMM.
that was like a I know I won't be spending my money that weekend, because I won't be seeing that one. That's one I'm not watching. I don't give a fuck what connections it has to the MCU. Spider-Man's not in it. That's an already.
Oh, but
that
he
already
is.
takes.
But it is.
Oh,
You wanna
yeah,
get even more
yeah.
convoluted.
Yeah.
10-year-old Peter Parker and Aunt May are in this film.
Yeah.
So when you went back to your universe, did you also travel back in time? Does time not run congruently in your universe?
It
You
does
got
not.
a different time that you're running by?
Different time.
And everybody's so hyped talking about, well, Toxin is cool when he is fighting Spider-Man. I don't care to see Toxin
Is that the
fighting.
bad? Is that the big bad?
Yes.
I thought they were going to try and do Null.
Yeah, because his home planet.
Yeah, when they were
Clintar's going to
talking
be.
all that,
Oh,
he's
was
coming,
it-
there's a war coming. But
Oh,
I
is it
absolutely
still Null?
hate- But if you're doing that, you're going to need every hero on the planet to fight Null. What heroes are in Sony's universe?
Oh, you didn't see Madam Web and Morbius and
Stop
Wait a
Raven?
minute.
Stop
Wait
it.
a minute.
Stop
Wait a
it.
minute. And I'm sorry if I'm behind and not caught up, because when I tell you I have paid little attention to anything Sony's doing in their universe, I do mean that. Fuck them. Noel's in this shit.
He should be.
Felt like it. They had somebody in custody. They kept talking about how there was a coming war. There was somebody, they had to prepare, and that's why they were looking for Venom. So it kind of vaguely referenced the whole King in Black storyline a little bit, because there were
But if
symbiote
this is the
monsters
last-
popping up all over the place.
If this is the last dance,
It's
so
too
no-
much to do in one movie.
That's what I'm
Way too much to do in
saying.
one movie.
It's also
what
just it's just a title, The Last Dance.
Yeah. We'll see.
If they succeed and make $1 billion, which they won't.
But did
they'll
you hear what
have a
Tom
fourth.
Hardy? Did you hear what? Let me see what Tom Hardy said. Was it Tom Hardy that said this shit a few days ago?
You also, Marcus, forgot to mention at the end credits of Venom 2, they were talking about the hive mind and now we're all connected.
Yeah,
That was making me think of Null.
Years of
Yeah,
hive mind.
no reference. Yep.
Do that
Yeah.
voice again?
No. Damn. Okay, this right here. Let me share that. They were talking about this. This isn't the first time we've seen, Sony and them talking about this, but it says the Sony universe has their own Spider-Man, says Tom Hardy. Well, if you take yourself back to the Morbius days, Luis, or which one is it? Luis, who is it?
Esposito. Yep.
Yeah, was doing that Twitter live, but it wasn't a live where it was video. It was like they were typing out the questions and they were like back to back firing out those tweets. And they asked him, "Where is Spider-Man?" And he said, "Well, we have our own Spider-Man within this universe, bro." Morbius came out, and Morbius
and put
came
culture
out
in it. What are y'all
Yeah.
talking about? Y'all just be out there saying stuff. Plus, yeah, we know Sony has their own Spider-Man. His name is Tom Holland, and he's making about what $40 to $50 million a film.
Uh-huh.
Right.
So yeah, we know you got your own Spider-Man. He's right there. Now, y'all don't want to use him in these other Sony projects for some reason or another, even though you keep trying to keep him away from Marvel. So it's extra convoluted to have a whole another Spider-Man in your universe just for Venom and Craven and Morbius to play around with. Oh, and by the way, we talking about doing Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire. They don't know what they doing over there. They don't know what's happening. They don't know up from now.
Yeah.
They don't know what's happening.
Venom 2
Yeah.
survived, though. I think they made $700 million. So
Yeah, Venom 2, maybe
Didn't they?
Venom 1. I don't think they made $700 million on Venom 2.
I don't
That
think
was an
Venom-
absolutely awful movie.
Yeah, I don't think Venom 2 did
That was the
those
Carnage
numbers.
one, right?
yeah,
Mhm.
Venom number 1 did in 2018. That was before everything went haywire. We made 856. And the second Venom, Let There Be Carnage, made 506.
Made
million.
506. Okay.
Yeah, what are they thinking? Because they should have went, oh, the audience is telling us no more. And then they gotta look. They gotta look around and they gotta see, ooh, Kingdom Planet of the Apes isn't doing much. Or what else happened? Fast and Furious, they only grossed like they only gross 700 million, which that's bad for them. We look around and we see the movies aren't really what we used to be, and now we're gonna spend money on a Venom movie, even though that it had such a strong decrease. And plus, everyone's waiting for streaming now. You really think a big budget Venom movie is gonna be the one? You don't think people have figured out the whole Spider-Man thing and he's not gonna be part of it? They won't be teased anymore.
Especially after Madam Web. I
Especially
had
after
the
Madam Web?
unfortune of watching
me, it
that
was
thing on
Morbius.
Netflix the other day.
For me, it
And
was No Way
my
Home.
Thank you.
God, I have never seen a worse movie. I don't think I've seen a worse superhero movie.
There's
It
no
was
way.
so terrible. From the
Mm-mm.
from the bad guy that they were running from, that should have been Miguel, by the way. We're doing this
Miguel?
whole thing where we're Spider-Man 2099
Oh, that one.
should have been who came to this universe trying to kill all Spider-Mans, because that's literally what he does. He fixes Spider-Man anomalies. Anyways, that was the most terrible movie I've ever watched in my life. Like, everything about it, the motivations, the character decisions, the things that were happening in that movie. My son would be standing in the corner if he had done some of that stuff. It's just like, we don't under basic common sense. Hey, this person's chasing us. We're staying here to be safe. But hey, there's a diner down there. Let's go stand on couches.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
that
remember
was the
somebody
worst
talking
movie I've
about
ever
that
seen in my
scene.
life.
Yeah,
It was
see,
terrible.
you said for you it was after No Way Home.
Because that's when it was solidified. Venom is a different universe than us. We
Oh,
just needed that
okay.
Venom symbiote in the MCU, and then he left without it. And so that now the audience, the casuals who were going into these Venoms going, oh, Venom, Spider-Man, yeah, same thing. Now they know. And so what are you advertising?
But see, I was so excited after the trailer. Was that No Way Home? No, yeah, there was a No Way Home. The 80 billion years of hive mind knowledge is, blah blah blah. Because I remember the theories. The people were running wild. It had the implications that, okay, that's why he said that guy. Because if 80 billion years of hive mind knowledge, then he got his ass whooped by that guy in Spider-Man 3. So of course he would know that guy. But then you just took it. I don't even care anymore, because that's not even a theory anymore. Like, none of that shit even matters anymore, because you've contradicted your own things that
you
you've
went
set
in there
up.
and now your universe guy in there is picking up that the symbiote that's supposed to be in a whole nother universe. What are we even talking
This
about?
doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. What they should have done, again, the same thing Tom Hardy teased after Venom 2, when he posted that picture of Venom biting off Spider-Man's head, but then deleted it off Instagram. Like, if you want asses in the seats, I don't understand Sony. Clearly, they can
I think
understand it within the MCU.
I think he was trying to, like,
Drum up.
coax the studios into coming to the table. Like, Tom Holland's done that or time to time, where he's kind of leaked information to kind of get people interested in what may be going on with Spider-Man. But I think the egos in the room, probably between Amy Pascal and Kevin Feige, there's a little bit of a Vienna sausage measuring contest going on there. And whenever they disagree, Pascal takes Tom Holland, and she goes home and shelves him because she doesn't have any plans for him, no real plans. And Kevin Feige sits back and waits for them to fail instead of giving them adequate advice on what to do. And then even if he does give it to them, they don't listen. So
it's crazy to me.
Weird little vicious cycle between those two. I don't think a lot of things in superhero movies are going to change until we get some of these people out of here.
Yeah,
I honestly believe that.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's
Like,
just
they have to
insane to
move
me
out
that
of the
you
way.
have Venom and Spider-Man, and instead of just putting pinning the two against each other in a film, you're making Venom this hero. I see him dancing in Casino. I can promise you I won't be tuning into this. I've never seen Morbius outside of its trailers. Because when Spider-Man got taken off the table completely, as in, like, because that's why I was watching Morbius. I was like, oh, look, okay, there's that connection. There's Oscorp. There's this. There's that. Oh, is that Toby's Spider-Man on? But then when they came out with that last and final trailer and removed.
Well, why would you even have all of these Spider-Man villains, right? Like we're on Morbius 3. How are we on Morbius 3 and we haven't seen him fight Spider-Man yet?
We're on Venom 3.
If there is a Venom 3. How did we if there is a Spider-Man in your universe, how was he only 10 years old by the time we're on your trilogy in Venom?
Yeah.
Like I don't say you don't have to use Tom Holland for each and every iteration. You got 3 of them that 3 different people, 3 different factions within the whole entire Spider-Man fan base love for some reason. There's still Garfield fans out there.
But there's Garfield fans. Utilize it.
Hey. I'm a super Garfield Spider-Man fan.
fan too. Freaky ass nigga here, 69 guys.
I love him as Spider-Man.
Let me hear you say Toby Ho.
You have too many options. Where you have too many stocks. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Just use them. Put Spider-Man in the damn thing.
I'm not even listening to you. I'm just trying to figure out how we can incorporate more lyrics into this.
Sometimes you just gotta pop out and show niggas,
Yeah, I was listening to that on my run.
Did you listen to the new Drake one where he was doing the Toronto accent?
Whack one Delilah.
You know what's crazy?
Stage.
Like a year ago, I saw a guy on Instagram doing that with the guitar, singing the same kind of thing. He was singing about Delilah in a Toronto accent, and it made its rounds. Everyone saw it, liked it, very popular. And for them to do this and steal the idea, except go more like commercial with it, it just shows what Drake's nature is. Plus, this isn't his slang. We saw that video of him on MTV or what's there. So it's like, the guys in my school, they say man's like that. I think it's ignorant. well, then why are you using the lingo now all of a sudden? It's so artificial.
And tell me what you guys think about this. This is the last thing on the Shawn Levy Avengers. They said Shawn Levy already turned down directing it once, but production's getting pushed into next year, has reopened his talks. That's not really big, but this is the one. It's rumored a possible adaptation of elements from the Avengers Assembled / Avengers Forever event is going to be used in the next Avengers film, Avengers 5. It'll be storytelling involving a multiversal council of a multiversal council of Mephisto variants known as the Council of Red. Multiversal masters of evil and an Avengers team up to save the day before all existence is destroyed.
If Shawn Levy is there, I hear Deadpool. I hear if Deadpool Wolverine becomes this $1.5 billion summer box office success, which would be unexpected to reach 1.5. But if it is, Shawn Levy has leverage. The fan base is going to ask for Deadpool to be involved in it. It's just a win-win scenario for everybody. Everyone gets to ask the right price. Yes, for that reason, I'm okay with Shawn Levy.
Do we want Deadpool? I mean, not saying I don't want Deadpool interacting with the Avengers or anything like that, but in a very serious multiversal doom is gloom, the end of the world, does Deadpool look at the screen and like, where are we at with like, is somebody giving a speech and he farts and
he farts, makes a fart joke. For sure.
He enters the movie in the second half, so the first half can have all the necessary gloom, and he doesn't need to be starring in every scene after that. You can have some Deadpool. It's just like any comedy in any movie. He'll serve his purpose. You can do it.
He is comedy 247.
I would like to see his tenor change, right? He had his thoughts on Wolverine and Deadpool, right? Obviously, we took some exception to what he had to say, but again, that's an isolated character. That's him and Ryan's baby. That's their thing, right? What they wanted to incorporate into it and what sources they draw upon to create the film. If we came back and we were talking Avengers 5 and that same type of mentality persisted, it would worry me about this film. If you're going to give this guy 60 plus cameos and characters to deal with, about a whole bunch of stuff that happened before he ever walked in the door. And he has the mindset of, I want the audience to walk in and be able to watch this film and never have seen any of that stuff before. And we're doing Secret Wars? Go, buy it, scram.
Because the fans don't need to do homework and Marvel Spotlight and all those reasons.
You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
I hate that. I hate that that's become the narrative of the MCU when it used to be, no, everything's connected. You got to watch. hate when I know Chill doesn't like this, but I used to hate when Campia would say that stupid shit when he'd be like, "Oh, I just want to. Why does everything have to?" Because that's the way it was fucking
That's the
founded.
only reason why we're sitting here listening to you talk about it. It's 'cause it's all
Exactly.
connected.
Everything connects. That's what makes the MCU, in my opinion, so well. What used to make it so
Why don't you go to
beautiful.
the store and ask for standalone comic books? Yes, I want to see nothing but one shots, please. Nothing ongoing.
It's what made Captain Marvel an extra $900 million. That's a factual statement. Continuity.
That is true. True. The continuity. Yeah. So it's like, I don't like this whole, oh, no, you don't need to watch this to understand this. No, fuck that. Been here since 2008. I had to watch this
It's the
shit. You
fiber
need to
of
go
the
back and watch
fandom.
it too.
It is literally the fiber of the fandom. It's why we meet up and geek out right here on this stream week in and week out, is because this is what we like, right?
Right.
And if there is more connectivity, there is more discuss, there's more conversation going on, there's less space in between projects now because we're theorizing, we're reviewing, we're going through stuff at an intricate level. If you keep giving us standalone projects from people who don't care about this stuff, then it's just not gonna perpetuate the same way, and it's not gonna get the same kind of love for it.
Yep. Say what you want about Star Wars, and I know I do. And not counting the sequel trilogies for myself on my timeline, but that is what's so beautiful about Star Wars for me too. The connectivity. You can't watch one without having seen you can't just jump into Star Wars. That's not possible.
Yeah.
You're not, you're not just jumping into Star Wars and because I would have to explain, like, you jump in, you can't, like, episode 2, you have to see, everything. You have to see everything before that. You cannot. So that's the way it should be with the MCU. And at one point I felt it was, but now we're into that era where it's like, oh, like Shawn Levy said, no, just come have a good time. Get your popcorn bucket, come have a good time.
And for Deadpool, that's fine. That's fine. I don't like it, but it's okay. Because again, that's their thing. That's their baby. If he's stepping up into the big leagues, if he's going to be doing an Avengers 5, we're going to need a little bit more investment into what came before you, or else this movie's not going to make a lick of sense.
Yeah. Who the hell is this?
This is a video from 2023 from March 6th. You can see the date, can't you?
I see it now.
You do? Good.
Yes.
Let me get my mouse ready because it's malfunctioning. I was gonna play it. It's the song that I was telling you about.
Hey guys, I remember seeing a few years ago a parody of Hater Delilah, but sung by a Scarborough man.
So Scarborough's a borough in Toronto.
Can't seem to find it anywhere. So I made my own version, heavily inspired. Yo, what's good, shorty? What's it like in Saga City? I'm still stuck out here in Scarborough, but your Snapchat's looking litty. Link me still.
That's what he's trying to do.
We can chill. A blunt will fill.
STC is Scarborough Town Center.
Yo, what's good, shorty? Don't you worry about the bus fare. Take the go from Saga Station, and I'll pick you up at St. Clair. Man's is Marv.
Man's is
Before
Marv.
my rents, take back the car. Reach Moxie's bar. Yo, my dukes are cheesing me. Yo, my dukes are. Hey guys,
You get the point, yeah?
This person lives in Canada.
Yeah, that's like a Toronto accent. All of that is relatively familiar to me, but it was done a year ago, and here comes Aubrey. And even in the video, he said, he's the guy who was singing it. He said, I heard about this on Instagram and I couldn't find it, so I'm gonna redo it.
You know that they played that for the plain white t-shirts, and they didn't believe it was real. They said it's crazy that people think this is real and not AI. I was like, I haven't heard your man come out and laugh at it, or that's not me. I haven't heard him say anything about it. Are celebrities in the spot now where they're just allowing people to think that the AI things about them are real? Because I just wouldn't let this ride. It's not very good either. Like, if people thought it was good, maybe I'd take credit for it, but
it's not good. It's funny, and that's the point of it.
Yeah.
But it's funny, but it's also, you're the wrong guy to make this joke. And it seems like, oh, Kendrick's got this whole West Coast thing, right? What do I have? Okay, let me build some foundation here up in Canada. Hey guys, and you find some white kid who.
But you're joking on it at the same time, and that's where I think he has most of his problems. He has problems
But
ingratiating.
see,
He has
and
he has
again,
what is that? Only child syndrome.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
He has trouble sharing.
See, and you're talking to a Drake fan. I love Drake, but
Uh-oh.
one of the things Drake does is I don't think Drake takes a lot of shit seriously either. Like, because he's at the point where at the end of the day, I saw this point made on Twitter and I had said the same thing. At the end of the day, at the end of the battle, Drake is still Drake, Kendrick is still Kendrick. These fans, I saw people posting, "Oh, I'm not." I saw somebody say on Twitter, "So does Kendrick think that song is gonna make me stop being a Drake fan?" I'm still, yeah, no, of course, it's not gonna make me stop being a
It
Drake
wasn't
fan.
for
But
you. It was that song was the you're the they and they not like us.
Exactly.
And Drake. One of the things that Drake does though is like you go to that one live stream he did. I think it was a live stream where he was sitting outside.
All the tweeters and deleters.
That one.
You're making me sick, fam. You're making me sick to my
Yeah.
stomach, fam. All you tweeting the leaders, now all the diss tracks gone. Talk
That
about tweeting
one.
delete.
Yeah. Drake does. I feel like he just doesn't take a lot of shit like I know, but that one of the line that not like us though. I used to say Family Matters was, and I still say it is. It's diabolical, but
What's the line? What's the one line? Always rapping like you're trying to get the slaves freed. That line?
in Family Matters.
Yeah, is that what you're gonna say?
No.
Or the
Well, that
Zimmerman
too.
bar. Did you prefer the Zimmerman bar more than that?
I don't
Was that
remember
one
that.
more? There was I'm about to get
Diabolical.
on my Zimmerman.
Diabolical. Not like us though. I ran yesterday maybe like 5-6 miles. My on repeat for at least 3 of that was not like us.
For sure.
And it's like when he says it's a real nigga challenge, let me break it down. That is some shit.
Oh, when you didn't see the club. Little baby, help me get your lingo word. I mean, like he gave him a dissertation on his life, and I can understand not caring or always say I go to Turk. So the first place I'm gonna visit after the beef is Turks and Caicos. He says I'm a body shamer and cosmetic surgery and all this other stuff. So I'm going to allude to me having plastic surgery while giving out plastic surgery while on a song with Sexy Red. I'm gonna just triple entendre him. Now I'm a Kendrick. I'll rap like Kendrick now. It's like he's so on the nose with it. It's almost as if he feels like we're receiving it differently. Maybe he's so in that bubble that like when he trolls now, he thinks we're still taking it the way that we used to take it. And that's where I think people got to be careful with he's always going to be Drake thing. To a degree, Drake is as successful as the machines that are behind him. That be UMG, Apple, Nike, right? He's as popular as those machines behind him. It really only takes 1, maybe 2 of those machines to decide that there are more lucrative options for Drake to be an afterthought, to Drake to be El DeBarge. It's not going to take that much, y'all. If Nike finds another biracial international superstar to push their product, they're gone. If UMG finds another budding superstar that can carry the load that Drake has been carrying, and by load, I mean the load of ghostwriters that have been pinning for him, then they'll go to him, right? It's not going to take, it's only going to take a few shows that maybe there's a crack in the dam, like his shoes that he just released, right? Still in the shelves. I didn't
even know the nigga released shoes.
He just released a pair of shoes with Nike, and they're still in stock to this day.
What do they look like?
I don't. Some cross trade.
Are they ugly?
Yeah, nothing that I would put on. But what else? The hard part 6. We know what more dislikes than likes on a trailer or a video on YouTube.
Oh, is it disliked? Is that right?
A whole lot more, like half a million more dislikes than likes.
These hoes are atrocious.
That would never happen to Taylor Swift. That would never happen to
Wow.
Jay-Z or Beyonce. Those things don't happen to too big to fail superstars. So there's already a little bit of a crack in the dam. And I think all these jokes is just to reaffirm people that it's not bothering him. Okay.
It's all performance.
He needs that
These
summer
look
hit
like
that keep
some
saying is going to come.
K-Swiss shoes from like the early to mid 90s. Like when K-Swiss like had it going on. These hoes are
Now
really
imagine
ugly.
if none of this stuff was going on with Kendrick. How many people you'd see with those joints on their feet?
Yeah. It would be sold out.
It'd be sold out. Everybody would have those shoes.
There'd be a truckload missing, affecting
For
the
sure.
stock.
Yeah. So the stock short to stock.
You know I'm referencing the
Yeah.
Ultimate Black Panther, right?
Yes, I know.
Okay.
Yes, I know.
No, you never know. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
they
right.
said
Better than the Trumps.
amid the Kendrick beef, but they look like K-Swisses. Yeah, amid the Kendrick beef.
He can have those for sure.
Oh yeah.
Looks
he
like a
can.
Drake shoe to me.
He can definitely keep them. I want to see on that hard part 6, you were talking about the dislikes.
Mm-hmm.
It shows you talking about on the
On YouTube.
on YouTube.
Because he already took it down off of IG.
Oh, he did.
Took down
But
all of them.
he limited the comments on those.
He took them down. All of them are gone.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He took them all off of his IG.
But not YouTube.
And I don't believe so. No, not YouTube.
They're still on Apple Music.
Off of his personal IG page.
So the tailor-made freestyle was forced to because Tupac's estate said no.
Mm-hmm.
But this one was more so, I gotta choose to remove.
And that's what's wild to me.
I don't know if he was
permission
told to, or if he just, I'm done with it. Let's move on. The sponsors are nervous. All this pedal talk is not good. I need Not Like Us to die because every time someone sings it, it reminds people that I might be a pedophile. We need.
And them is the lines that stick out the most, and Not Like Us. Like, yeah, bro.
And I don't take any of it lightly because of who said it. If this was 50 Cent, if this was, a troll, Rick Ross, I'd probably only take about half of what I was hearing to heart.
There's a video from.
Go ahead.
There's a video from No. You go ahead, Marcus. We always do this.
I was gonna say I've never seen two rappers at the top of their game, and one of the rappers is talking about the other's character. Like it's always about a lack of money, or I had your woman, or the cars I got, or you used to be my fan, or I'll shoot up your shit.
Yes.
It's never you're a bad father, you're a poser, you're a body shamer, you're a deadbeat.
Why is Baca around? Who's playing with his nose?
Baca,
why is Baca around? He got a weird case.
Party playing with
certified
his nose.
Lover boy, certified pedophile.
It's that, and that's been going on really since Euphoria. He really been telling him since Euphoria, hey, listen, this is really going to get bad for you in a second. Don't do what you thinking about doing. Don't do it, because I'm right here ready. That's why no one's listening to Family Matters. Family Matters is an excellent track. Well, save the Zimmerman and Slave bars. It's a good song. But no one was listening to it because that same night we was out here doing wah, 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 wah.
Yeah.
It's just he drowned him out.
Meet the Grams was the same night.
So, okay, you're right. Then that morning was Not Like Us.
No, he dropped Not Like Us.
Back tracks. It just
he dropped Not
day.
Like Us that same night. I thought Meet the Grams was.
He did 616 in LA, and that same day at around like 11:30, Drake did his.
Matters. Yep.
And after Drake did Family Matters, like minutes later, Kendrick put out a song.
Yep,
Meet the Grams.
right
All right,
out.
but that was like Wednesday or something. Let's just say Wednesday. On Thursday, at the end of the day, Not Like Us came late in the day. There was like a 24-hour gap between.
I felt like I heard that joint in the morning. I don't think it was that much time in between Not Like Us and Meet the Grams.
Okay, you could be right.
I didn't think it was either.
But it was another
Like,
day.
I
Though.
felt like I was listening to both of them joints kind of at the same
He-
time.
I went to
Nah,
sleep.
he-
Meet the Grams was all that was out. Meet the Grams was out. I
Yeah,
went to
that's what I'm
sleep.
saying. I went to sleep, and then when I woke up in the morning, it was
Uh,
like, "Oh, he dropped again." I was like, "What?" I was like, "No, Meet the Grams, right?" It was like, "No, there's another one." I was like, "Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
they going crazy. They
Yeah.
going crazy."
I was gonna say that YouTuber No Life Shack. He does like reactions to music videos. He was saying, "I got this email. You guys can go back to see his video. It's a month old now. I got an email. It's from Universal. They're saying Kendrick, you need to stop besmirching his name because you're cutting into the funds, his reputation. Everything Marcus was just saying right now about how this is making Drake look bad. It's eating into his money. Stop it." And I think maybe that's why Kendrick did stop. If he probably got something in return, right? And he won. Not Like Us is going to be playing. Why put out another song and possibly jeopardize? Oh, he lost. You know what? You've already won. Everyone's playing. It's the song of the summer.
I was
Get
really
money.
hoping he was going to keep going because he was on
too.
a fucking
I
roll.
think he was going to keep going until that shooting happened, until his security guard got happened, and then even the circumstances surrounding that were hella fishy. Like the security service was like a shell company for another company that Drake owns, and the only employee was Baca. It just the whole shit was really just weird. But yeah, I think until that happened, we were going to get another drop, and then when we get the Heart Part 6, you also hear your man's basically trying to tell him, okay, we need to wrap this up because this is starting to hurt. Like we need to. Yeah, this was a good exercise until you really.
I'm glad I got to bring the pen out on this one.
Yeah, let me know when you got some facts. Is everything I'm saying?
Can we get straight to the facts?
I'm like, boy, he couldn't run out of that studio fast enough. Like,
well, I said after I listened to it, because I listened to it that morning, I said, he's tired. I think I tweeted that. I said, he's tired.
I don't think he knew where to go. I don't think he knew where to go on that one. It's like, oh, yeah, Mr. Morale,
I was really trying to keep it PG.
Mother, I'm sorry, or something like that. The song about the sexual assault or the perceived
sexual assault. Mother
literally told you like this is what happens when the metaphor doesn't reach you. He told you that in Meet the Grams, and here you go. Yeah, I finally figured it out. You talking about all this pedophile stuff because your uncle touched you? No, fam. No. Did you listen to the song? Did you hear the song? Like, it just what isn't even what happened. So he didn't even accurately like burn him. He didn't do it right. He's so confused.
It's also not something I'd make fun of Kendrick if everything was true and it went the way he thinks it is.
I think that's why he got more likes. He didn't realize that when K-Dot is talking to him on Meet the Grams, the reason why the little girl stuff on Meet the Grams hit so hard, whether it's true or not, is because he is speaking to a lot of women. Not just a lot of women. He's spoken to a lot of forgotten children right now. When they hear him addressing Drake about what his duties that he's derelicted, his responsibilities that he's foregone, he's talking to those children. Like, look at this lame loser won't step up and be a father to another kid.
I love it.
And they feel that and they internalize it. So then when Drake comes back and tries to flip it and say, oh, you just saying that because you got touched. Now you adding a whole nother segment of people into that who Kendrick was speaking to, trying to protect, and now you're making fun of him. He doesn't understand what's going on here. He doesn't get it.
But that goes to everything that we've already known too about Drake. And again, I think we talked about this, and that's how out of touch he is. The whole you're not a
colleague, you're a colonizer.
Yeah, you're not a colleague, you're a fucking colonizer. So that whole, even the behind some of the videos we've seen from the Degrassi days when he was younger. So, he's not culturally from all the stuff that he speaks on. So when he does speak on it, he's out of touch and he doesn't understand.
One of the best lines in Euphoria right there. I make music that electrify him. You make music that pacify him. I could double down on that line. Spare you this time. It's random acts of kindness. He was telling him. He tried to tell him. We don't even have to do this pedal stuff. This could just be a friendly exhibition in the game.
Does Wayne stay out of Drake's affairs now? Because if you
how quiet he's been, right?
I was gonna say because typically it used to be when you would come at Drake, Wayne would typically hop on something with Drake in some type of defensive way or whatever, or say something. But I've not seen Wayne speak on this.
One of the things that was addressed in Not Like Us was Drake sleeping with Wayne's
Yeah,
girlfriend.
the whole
while in jail.
gotta like a bitch apologize.
Yeah, I don't
for
think
that.
that was a breaking point for them in their friendship, because we've seen them go on tour after that and stuff like that. But I do think that once he mentioned it in the song, it's like, okay, I'm gonna just let him handle his business because he was foul for that, and I'm gonna just let him do what he got to do. Like, you can go back and get him, and if you need me on the track for you, maybe, but I'm not about to jump in it just because he invoked my name, because that really was some sucker shit. There's a lot of people from the Young Money days that's not speaking up, saying nothing for Drake. I ain't saying a word.
Yeah, I ain't heard. Nicki hasn't even said
Not
nothing.
Nicki, not Wayne, not Mac Mang, not Lil Chucky, not Tyga. Nobody.
Lil Chucky. I ain't seen that nigga. Is that nigga around?
I don't know where he at.
Lil Twist and Lil Chucky. Them niggas thought they was up next. Yeah, they thought they was up next. Them was the days, boy. Lil Twist, that Young Money days. Them niggas used to just be there.
Yeah. Official Liam G says, I feel like regardless of quality of diss track, both shouldn't be trying to one up each other on morality. Like, rap industry is the last place to go with amazing morale. All hypocritical. I mean, we could say that, but then also you're painting with a very broad brush. And then also, where do you draw your lines on morality? Right? Like,
don't play with your nose. That's bad. It's deplorable. Take care of your kids. You know, you got to make sure you're doing that. The things that Drake was getting scolded on wasn't like, I have more money than you, and the typical rap stuff, hoes in different area codes. It was like, it was good. I like that. There's a generation of people who are younger than us. They're looking at their first or the second rap beef, and they're going, "Oh, you can get made fun of for those things. Those are things we should stay away from." All right, I'll keep that in mind.
Actually, that's the type of stuff my parents talk about. But like, so it's actually bad not to do those things. Yeah, no, for sure. And I don't think it's incumbent on you to lack sin or to be a saint to criticize somebody for something that should be frowned upon in society. If you don't take care of your children, that should be frowned upon.
Yep. Once upon a time, Atlanta had the railroads and trades. That's informative to know about. And look how proud he was about it.
He's doing Black history.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it was yeah. Great stuff. The whole beef. I thought it was a great beef. Will we see something like that again soon?
That of that height? No, we won't see that for some time. Unless somebody says Boogeyman, so somebody say Candyman again. I don't think they'll be doing that for quite some time. No, I don't think anybody will ever call out Kendrick Lamar ever again. It'll never happen.
Nobody of stature.
It'll never happen. Jay-Z himself will not call out K-Dot. He won't do it because he knows the depths that he needs to go to. I'm not gonna pay $100,000 to get no information on you. I'm not gonna go talk to your old girlfriends. None of that shit. I'm going to look into your soul. And I'm gonna sprawl it out for the world to see.
Indeed, for sure. Now, one thing I want to ask before we get out of here, we didn't get to talk about the last time, but because there hasn't been much said about it going on with Mr. Sean Diddy Combs lately. I don't know. Has that disappeared because of the things have come into play?
Hell no.
Well, I know. I mean, not like that. I mean, out of as far as like the headlines go.
I think it's a game of cat and mouse. I think they have something on him, and they want bigger fish. And I think that bigger fish has some connections that is keeping Diddy kind of him down. So you noticed when the raid stopped and the police stopped, that's when all the extra suing and all the stories and all of the extra that stuff, people talking, kind of ramped up.
Yeah,
I don't think that's coincidental. I don't think that these things are so lined up in these people's minds that like, okay, I'm gonna wait for his house to get raided and then I'm gonna go say something. I don't think that's how they do it. I think they're encouraged by one or maybe a few parties that are working in the same interest as to when is the most advantageous to bring these stories out. And I don't think it's any coincidence that once the legal woes start to have at least the criminal legal woes have started to calm down a bit. Now we're adding social pressure back on top of it. Now the tape has come out, of him and Cassie. Those things come in different ways for different reasons. And so if Diddy has any leverage left, he's going to have to use that to protect himself through this thing. And I just don't know if that's possible because the person I think is cutting him loose is more powerful than him, infinitely more powerful than him.
Well, let Jaguar White tell it. And I take what she says with a massive grain of salt because I mean, yes, she knows all these people, she's intertwined, but she's also sometimes when she says shit, because I've watched all 3 of the interviews that they've done with her. When she says shit, I'm like, how do you know that? Like, how do you know? But she it is believable. She does say though that it's Jay-Z. She said next on the list after they're done with Shawn, she said, because he is going down. She said, this is not over after they're done with him. She said, it's next. Jay-Z. She said, next you will see it's going to be Jay-Z. And she said, and don't think Beyonce's innocent. And I said, what does this mean?
Come on, please. Yeah, please leave Beyonce out of this.
Yeah, I'm like, what does that mean? That's why when she starts saying shit like that, I'm like, how do you know that? Like, what are you talking? What do you have on B? Like, what are you talking about? I don't know. It's some crazy. But she said she says he's going down. She says Jay-Z is next. She said that at the top of it all is Jay-Z.
I doubt that. I think maybe he's the next fish. I doubt he's the top of the pyramid though.
What are you saying, Chill?
No, just I wouldn't doubt at all that towards the ending of his life, successful black billionaire, like he's not on the queue. Morgan Freeman might get out of this one unscathed, but even then, like I don't think he's that top. I'm looking at Denzel Washington, worrying that the next, how many years has he got? 30 maybe.
Denzel's good.
Hope
Denzel
so.
had the same wife for the last 30 years.
Oh yeah, Denzel's good.
He has a stable family. His children are stable, working actors in Hollywood without any type of weird child actor trauma shit. Denzel's good. Okay. He's one of the solid ones. I hope. And I ain't never seen his name on any flight list, fake or otherwise. So
his name's never been on a flight list like that. Okay. Chris Tucker has.
Tucker absolutely has. Both Chris Rock and Chris Tucker, both of the Chris's.
Will was too.
Yeah, unfortunately, Will was on a list.
Yeah, Will was too. Yeah, so yeah, no, I'm so just interested to see how some of this stuff is panning out with a lot of this. Interesting shit. But yeah, that's it tonight.
Anybody with a suggestion of what this podcast should be named? Last chance, because we kind of have an idea of what we want to call it, but you can change our minds right in the comment section of this video. Not the live chat, but the comment section when it's not streamed anymore. Let us know.
Puma Lee, I need you to Google Morgan Freeman's wife and how he met her.
Somebody else too. Angela Bassett too. Her and her. What's her husband's name?
Courtney B. Vance.
Yes, they've got a pretty strong. Especially Angela.
Their son needs to stop making TikTok pranks.
Yeah, that was their only thing. That was the only thing. But you saw how quick they handled that shit in house. You saw he got back out there and was like, "I'm sorry."
I apologize.
Yeah, so yeah, she handled that. She probably came in, slapped the shit out of him after Daddy hemmed his ass up and said, "Little nigga, you got me." Yeah, I've been hemmed up like that. So yeah. Know them hymns, but let us know in the comments what you guys think about the name. Obviously you guys know where to find everyone, but Chill, where can they find you?
If you can't spell, it's right there, man. CHILLMONGER.
And Marcus, where can they find you at?
You can find us at Back of the Bus Podcast. Might start changing our name to Scoop King since Metro Boomin gave us the scoop about his new mixtape coming out. Check Back of the Bus Twitter, and also it's JTG on Twitter for the best takes, hip hop, sports, and otherwise. See you on Sundays at 5.
Yes, sir. And of course, we are live when we're live, but normally Wednesdays. Obviously, this now Thursday slot. So yeah, we are going to try to be live again with you guys Wednesday. Check out, I've got a video coming out this weekend over the Michael Jackson stuff, the biopic and
The
what
biopic?
Lionsgate, Lionsgate calling it the biggest. They think it's going to be their biggest film they've ever made. Our most successful film they've ever made and biggest film. So I'm going to kind of dive into that a little bit before film comes out. But yeah, that's it. So appreciate everybody being here. Appreciate all the conversation. Appreciate all the likes. If you haven't liked this video, like it. Subscribe if you have not. And we will see all of you guys in the next video. Peace out. Thanks for watching.